For racers and fans alike, the past 2 months have been an unbearable drought, but their thirsts will soon be quenched as they race to the waters of Daytona for the ultimate baptism of speed in the birthplace of NASCAR.
Round the gas, we're bound to go fast. Halfway to Daytona Beach, they take me home.
No other track in the world bears the prestige, glory, and history of this cradle of racing legend. Here, young drivers come to create their own congregation, while veterans kneel at racing's altar of immortality.
Here we go. Hot damn, you should have felt the groove like I was swimming in a sea of soul. The sun was rising and the day was hot, and we was all about to lose control. A sound like thunder from the motor's drive, and I knew that there was nothing to lose. I put the crowd breathing and I closed my eyes, and we disappeared through the groove. And take me home. Take me home.
Coming home to 50 years of history, pegging the red line along the shoreline. A Saturday race for the ages.
Free from the water.
Victories and losses have been washed away. What once was a line in the sand, now a perfect start to a new season.
Straight from the water. You don't know nothing about this thing. Say, take me
T-minus 10, 9, 6,
ESPN welcomes you to NASCAR Countdown and our 2008 coverage of the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Today it's the Camping World 300 from the Daytona International Speedway in Florida. The world-famous Daytona International Speedway gleaming under the warm Florida sun, the place every racer and race fan wants to be in February. This massive 2.5-mile track where so much racing history and legend have been made is alive with energy again, as for the 50th time it's Speed Weeks, the 10-day meeting that kicks off each NASCAR season and culminates in the Daytona 500.
Race fans, please welcome back today's Grand Marshal, CEO of Camping World, Mr. Marcus Lemonis, as he delivers those most famous words in motorsports.
On behalf of 8 million RVers nationwide and Camping World's 5,000 employees, gentlemen, start your engine!
Engines have fired. 43 of NASCAR's finest getting set to battle here for 300 miles, 120 laps. Largest purse in NASCAR Nationwide Series history, $2.64 million up for grabs on what is a beautiful afternoon, gorgeous day here at the World Center of Racing. They've been coming here since 1959. Tomorrow, the 50th running of the Daytona 500. There are 17 drivers in today's field who will also do double duty and be racing here on Sunday. As the cars are set to roll, let's check in on pit road with Mike Massaro.
Well, Doc, when it comes to racing here in Daytona, something you don't usually think about is brakes. That's because they're seldomly used on this 2.5-mile super speedway. Still, brake management could play a deciding role in today's race. That's because drivers need to be real careful to build up some heat before they hit pit road for their first pit stop. If they don't, we've seen several problems. One, sometimes teams lock up their brakes at the entrance of pit road. That leads to flat spotting their 4 tires, which can sometimes ruin a scheduled 2-tire pit stop, turning it into a 4-tire pit stop. But perhaps even worse than that, if they don't build up enough heat and they jam on the brakes, they can scorch their brake system and glaze the brake rotor. That will lead to them sliding right through their pit stall, and that's certainly a brake no driver needs if they hope to go to victory lane today in Daytona. Dave?
Well, Mike, you've heard the phrase, what happens here stays here. Well, that does not apply to Daytona. When you do something great here at Daytona, the whole world knows about it, and you can't stop talking about it. That's because the sport was born here, and that's why these teams put so much pressure on themselves here to win. From the driver on the track to the crews over the wall to the eye in the sky, the spotter who sees it all, you bring your best to Daytona. What happens here stays with you for life. Doc, to you.
Thanks, guys. So many great drivers here. We talked about the fact there are 8 former NASCAR Nationwide Series champions, 3 former Cup champions in this field today. And speaking of great drivers, when we return, we'll visit with our in-race reporter, Kevin Harvick, who pulled off the Daytona double here just 1 year ago. Kevin Harvick wins.
Right to the line. Jimmy back down 500. Come on. Here they come. Checker flag.
Great crowd on hand as we welcome you back to the Camping World 300 presented by Chevy here at Daytona. We are just moments away from the start of this race, and yes, 3-time Daytona 500 winner Dale Jarrett has officially made it up there. So DJ, officially welcome to the family.
Thanks, Jerry. I appreciate it. Looking forward to it. We have a great race for you fans today, so get you a good seat.
All right, let's take a look at the starting grid, guys. Up front, Tony Stewart, 2-time former Cup Series champion on the pole. Beside him, another one of those double-duty drivers, Clint Boyer, starting second. Now, our in-race reporter won this race a year ago. Kevin Harvick, he started way back in 31st spot. He starts 9th today in the Camping World Chevrolet. Let's talk to Kevin.
Kevin, Dale Jarrett, ESPN. You have a copy?
Sure, Dale. Go ahead.
All right, Kevin, you've made the move over to your own team now as the driver. What are your plans for the rest of the year with that, and how about today? Do you have a car that can win this race?
I think the car has been really good through practices. Obviously, the conditions were so much different that a little bit nervous as to where the balance is going to go, but we'll fix that on the first stop. But looking forward to the challenge this year of just doing something that I do for fun here on Saturdays, and everybody is participating from Camping World to Ream, Road Loans, everybody involved. Going to be a lot of fun to see it progress and grow and run about 22 races. So going to be a fun year.
Okay, Kevin, have fun, and we'll talk to you throughout the race.
You guys.
His crew chief, Wally Rogers, has already won here with 2 other drivers, Randy LaJoie and Tony Stewart. Let's visit with Wally.
Hey, Walter, Andy Petrie up here. You got a copy?
Told me you were going to call me that.
That's okay. Hey, Wally, you know, there's a lot of people that would love to be in your spot right now on top of that pit box to call this race. Tell everybody what it feels like.
Well, Andy, we've been sitting around for about 2.5 months caged up in the shop, so I pretty much feel like a caged lion. I'm ready to go.
What kind of decisions are you going to have to make down there to give Kevin a shot at this?
Well, you know, like Kevin said earlier, our balance. You know, we just got to make sure our balance is right. And if it's off a little bit, you know, we'll fix it this first stop.
You know, we've had some tire issues in the Cup Series and some in the trucks. Are you guys worried about that at all today?
No, I haven't been too worried. We, you know, we run about 45 laps on them the other day, and they look really good, so I'm pretty confident about that.
Okay, Wally, you guys have a great race.
Thanks, AP.
Wally Rogers calling the shots for last year's winner, Kevin Harvick. 9 high-definition onboard cameras will be giving you rides with all different viewpoints today. Johnny Sauter starts 40th, the Miccosukee Indian Resorts Chevrolet. Clint Boyer in the number 2 car starts 2nd, the BB&T Chevy. Mike Wallace 22nd, the Geico Toyota this year. Geico Toyota, it's easy for me to say. Starting 17th, Matt Kenseth starts 14th in the Ritz Ford. Scott Wimmer starts 29th, the Holiday Inn Chevrolet. We've already mentioned with Kevin Harvick. Jason Leffler starts 3rd, the Fresh from Florida Toyota. Cale Gale starts 39th, the Ream Chevrolet. And David Rudeman starts 18th in the Aaron's Dream Machine Toyota. Now, we all know who the favorites are, but what about the sleepers today? Somebody who just might sneak up on them, guys. Who are the sleepers you're looking at to possibly have a shot to pull it off?
Well, we know we're going to be watching all these heavy hitters like Tony Stewart and those guys up front, but one to watch right now is that 7 car, that Toyota we just talked about, Mike Wallace. I think he could be a sleeper today. He knows how to get around this track, and he's a great drafter. Yeah, you didn't go out on the limb too much there, big guy. Okay. He's won here and runs
That probably wasn't
but
too
a
far
good
out there.
choice. No, that is a great choice. But I'm going to go with a young man racing here his first time, but he's got great equipment and he had a good teacher, Brad Keselowski. I think that 88 car is going to drive well for him, and I think that he has enough patience to want to do this, but just enough energy to make him want to get up there and try to win this race.
It'll be fun to watch.
Should be fun.
Brad Keselowski, brand new colors. They call it the dress whites for the Navy team. And that is the car, by the way, that led the most laps in this race a year ago with Kyle Busch aboard.